Welcome, High Vibe humans. You are listening to the Golden Gaian Adventure podcast. Hey, all you High Vibe humans, Breezy here, and welcome to the Golden Gaian Adventure. Today's show is focused on minding my cycles. This show is dedicated to the evolution of consciousness on this planet by sharing empirically supported scientific information in order for other high vibe humans to make informed decisions about the world around them. There are 3 themes I call attention to. The first is health. This can mean anything from mental health to body health, for example, exercise or self-care. And the second is light. This is the mystical, spiritual, and conscious connection. This might take the form of conversations about angels or meditation. And the last theme is the fight. This is the social justice piece. This is how we tie in real-world issues that refer to the human systems that we are all a part of and how to integrate this information into our personal realities. Today, I am joined with a very special guest, Bevin Slade. She is a high vibe human deeply devoted to her spirituality in the sense of self-mastery, self-realization, and being a guiding light for others to help them heal and integrate their shadow and rise to in their own light. How can humans listening connect with you, Bevin?
Hi.
Like social media?
Oh, okay. So my social media is Bevin, Bevin .be.heaven. So that's my Instagram, bevin.b.heaven. And my Facebook page is Be Heaven. And my YouTube channel is Bevin Heaven.
What do you talk about on your YouTube channel?
I talk a lot about spirituality and just like really what I feel in my heart and the wisdom that I hold in myself and things that I feel guided to talk about that I feel like are good for other people to know and can help people understand these like deeper spiritual concepts.
So if you were looking for deeper spiritual understanding or just exploring spiritual topics, I would go to your YouTube channel, Be Heaven?
Yes. Or Bevin Heaven is my YouTube channel.
Bevin Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, today's topic connects to staying healthy and staying light, and it's about minding my cycles. So, Bevin, can you share a little bit more about minding our cycles?
Well, we're in the middle of winter right now, and I've really been feeling like my body has just wanted to slow down and not do as much and to rest more. And I found myself really like fighting this at first because I've been feeling all this inspiration on the inside and all this like fire on the inside to like want to create and, do a lot more new things. But my body has just not been feeling it. And that was really hard to kind of come to terms with for a while. But I had this realization today that this is part of the cycle. We're not meant to be going all the time. Sometimes, especially in the winter, we have that time where we need to go inward more, where we need to rest and hibernate more. So doing this almost can feel counterproductive too at first, but it's really important to do this because when you honor what your body needs and you honor your cycle, then that prepares the soil for healthier, richer, more vital energy to come through and for more better creations to come through you when the time's right for it.
That's so powerful. It's so true. Here we are, the very beginning of 2020. We're in the midst of February. It's cold here in Michigan. We're having like winter snowstorms, and we're being forced to stay inside. And not only that, but there's physical stimuli in our environment that's telling our body it's time to be in a hibernation state. And it's difficult when you feel inspired to do a lot of things, and yet at the same time your physical state is saying, maybe it's time to slow down and relax. And if you fight against that, I know personally, if I try to fight against that, and I try to push through and work on those things that need to be worked on, the tension shows up elsewhere. I might get irritable. I might become forgetful because I'm not listening to what my body needs at that time. And instead, I'm just pushing through and blazing through. I'm not taking that time to nurture my energy, nurture myself. Instead, I get hard on myself and maybe even have some negative self-talk going on, saying, why can't you do this? Why are you being lazy? Or maybe I might project and I might think that people are going to judge me for not being as productive. I think that society has that rush, we have to keep doing things aspect to it. And it's important to, acknowledge I need to hustle harder. I need to get my work done in order to be an effective entrepreneur. And also I want to feel proud of myself in getting that work done. And at the same time, it's important to listen to when I need to take a spa day for myself.
I think there's a really deep lesson in learning to surrender what you think that you should be doing, what your mind is telling you that you should be doing, and instead listening to a deeper wisdom of your body, and not just your body, but the life force flowing through your body. And that's been something I've really fought against. I'm like, my mind's like, no, you should be doing more. But my life force is like, no, you need to be going inwards more. And it's different for every person. And that's why it's important to really tune into your own cycle and your own rhythm and really see what your energy and what your body and what your being is really calling for. And when you come into sync with that more, then you automatically, as a result, like over maybe a longer span of time, become more productive. You have more energy because you're in your own rhythm.
Right. It's not necessarily the destination. It's the journey to getting there that's important. It's not necessarily like, oh, how much can you accomplish? It's the quality of what you're accomplishing each day that really adds up over time. Even if in the midst of my depression, or in the worst parts of feeling seasonal depression, I find that just doing one thing towards my goal is better than doing nothing towards my goal. And even if I end up only accomplishing half of that one thing that I set out to do, it's better than doing nothing and then being okay with where you're at in that cycle. And going back to everybody's cycle is different, there is a process to figuring out what you can do with where your energy is at. There's a process to figuring out your cycle, what you can do when you're feeling low and what you can do when you're feeling high. What you can do when you're feeling sad, what you can do when you're feeling empowered and joyous about life. There is a process to finding out your own ebbs and flows.
Right, like what is appropriate and what you feel, really tuning into your own guidance and following that and being okay with, letting your idea of what you think you should be doing go. And knowing that it's more productive to honor yourself and honor your cycles than it is to try and fight against it or push through it, when maybe instead of pushing you need to be be gentle or, just more resting, which is fine.
And resting is good. Resting can be productive.
Mm-hmm.
It's finding how resting can be productive. Finding out things to do and still be productive, such as meditating more. Meditating is a way to still be productive and find rest.
Mm-hmm.
Writing, journaling, art, like painting or drawing, that's another way to still be productive, but also find rest.
Mm-hmm. As well as like reading too. Like maybe your body's not feeling it, but you can still feed your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. Finding other ways to stimulate that itch to be productive.
Or to grow, There's so many different ways we can grow.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like mentally, emotionally, spiritually.
And yeah, I think that also ties in with your cycles. Sometimes you're gonna be guided by your life force, by, your spiritual self to work more on your physical. And other times you're going to be guided to work more on your spiritual or your emotional or your own like mental, health or well-being or emotional well-being. So I think really just tuning into your guidance is super powerful.
The act of tuning in. How do you tune in?
I feel like it's good to take pauses throughout the day and to just cultivate a sense of deeper breath and slowing down your breath and just becoming more aware of everything around you, more aware of your energy and more aware of your body and where your mind is at and where you are residing in your being. Are you more in your head? Are you more in your heart? And, it's hard to turn off all the chatter in your head, but I think you can just start by asking yourself, like, what feels like the best thing to do right now for myself? And try and let go of what you think you should be doing and feel into where your energy wants to go.
What does it feel like? For me, it feels like when I tune in and I try to feel where my energy wants to go, I almost feel a slight pull. And then I don't want to call it joy, but there is a strength to that statement, follow your bliss, When I feel tuned into my energy and where the flow goes, I don't feel any resistance and I don't feel negative emotions. I don't necessarily feel positive emotions, but I don't feel resistance.
Mm-hmm.
Tuning into your energy is a very powerful act of self-healing. How does minding our cycles help us heal?
When we mind our cycles and we're really following a deeper, like we're tuning in deeper into that life force and where it naturally wants to go, then we're automatically going with the flow instead of against it. And when you go with the flow, it helps your whole body to de-stress. So you're not going to be holding as much tension in your body. You're not going to feel your nervous system as overstimulated as it usually is, because I feel like all our nervous systems are overstimulated with our crazy society that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
So by going with the flow, by going with your cycles and following that, you're automatically allowing your body to be more relaxed and to it almost like takes the weight off of you too, because you're flowing with a force that is greater than you as well.
It's also trusting and knowing that force is everything will work out for the highest good, and Oh, wow. Just really feeling that. I get that image of like the tortoise and the hare, understanding that you don't have to rush around trying to get from place to place. It's important to just take it step by step. And in the long run, the universe has your back. You are supported because we've surrendered to the flow and there's a natural finish line that's in our best interest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and trusting the universe feels so good too. It establishes a deeper connection with all that is, really, with, that higher force. I like to call it divine force because it's so mysterious in its nature. That's, greater than us, but it's part of us, and having trust with that greater intelligence establishes that deeper connection with it, which feels really good. To feel yourself as part of something greater than everything else, and to feel yourself as like one of the little cogs in the wheel feels really great.
Feels good to be a cog in the wheel of the great divine force, which sounds so powerful and awesome. I think being connected to the force is healing. It releases that sensation that humans are alone in the universe, that we're all powerful and all responsible for everything that happens to us. I think that it releases us a little bit from the power of our own ego and how it can trap us. And I think that that's healing, because sometimes tuning into our cycles, being aware of when we're falling into a negative thought spiral, or being aware of when we're so far into our bliss and joy that we forget about the people around us, tuning into those cycles is important, because paying attention to the positives and the negatives of each of those cycles is a healing aspect. Because once we understand the ebbs and flows of our cycles, then we're able to have power over it. We're able to say, okay, when I'm feeling depressed or when I'm feeling run down, I can go to my toolbox and I can use this self-care technique. I can use this mantra. I can do this exercise. And for people who might experience like bipolar disorder or manic depression, where you have those extreme highs, being aware of what that looks like and what you can do when you're feeling like that. Or one, for example, just falling a little bit into psychology, if someone is experiencing an extreme high, they might have spending problems. And so being able to understand that that's the symptom that happens and what you can do to remedy that. Perhaps you leave your wallet, your credit card at home for that day. Those things. When we understand our cycles, we're able to find tools that can help us become better humans, that can help us function more efficiently in society. And I think that's one way that we can heal. So what is the social justice piece of minding our cycles? We've kind of explored how minding our cycles can keep us healthy, how minding our cycles can help us heal. What is the social justice piece? How can we use minding our personal cycles to really improve the world around us, really make a connection to society?
I feel like by honoring our cycles, we become the living examples of a new way of being that is healthier and more natural and flows organically, which is so needed in our society right now, where people are so overworked, they're so stressed out, their nervous systems are way overstimulated. A lot of people with, different mental health issues that I really deeply feel that could be healed through learning how to honor your cycles and how like Bree said too, having your toolbox of learning how to take care of yourself when you're feeling down, or take care of yourself when you're maybe in a too high of a state. Well, just learning how to take care of yourself when maybe you're out of balance. But that really, it creates it's creating a whole new paradigm for us to operate out of. So we're operating out of self-love, self-care, going with the flow, honoring ourselves as, these living biological organic beings that have cycles and that have ebbs and flows. And just by doing that, it's a powerful way to help reshape society. So we're living in a way that honors each person instead of works each person to death, or makes it, our society is so set up for us to just be unhealthy,
Oh, it's so true.
mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, like in all aspects of our lives. So
we're not robots. We're not meant to get up at the same time and rhythmically. We're meant to rise with the ebb and flow of the sun, with the ebb and flow of the moon. All of these cycles ebb and flow, and they're not rigid. They're not set. They have a curvature to them. Mm-hmm. And it is true. We are awakening. Humans all across the planet are awakening. The starseeds are rising. The light workers are working harder than they ever have before. We are awakening and living in a different way. And we are shifting the paradigm. The paradigm has shifted. And it's about speaking more about how we can observe our cycles and use that to better serve our community. That is what I believe is the social justice piece, is taking that time to listen to our flow and being able to do that self-care so that we can go out and serve our communities. I believe that social justice is like a chorus. A choir can hold a note for a very, very long time because each of the individual singers drop out to take a breath and you don't notice it. And social justice is like that. You have many people walking out and screaming against these injustices that are happening, screaming for the trees and the animals, those people that cannot speak for themselves, going out there and facing those challenges. And activists can drop out and do their self-care, take care of themselves, take care of their home, their family, and then go back to the fight and continue on. It's important to understand that we have to do our self-care so that we can be strong enough to handle what the world is going to throw at us.
Absolutely. You can't help other people if your cup is empty. The best way to serve the world is by first serving yourself.
Ooh. Ooh, so powerful. Oh my gosh.
It's so important. It's so key. It's so key, man.
Mm-hmm. Minding my cycle is a powerful tool that can help me take care of myself and take care of my community.
Mm-hmm. And to help others learn how to take care of themselves too. When you're that example, that leads the way for other people to follow in similar footsteps and do what is best for them, instead of thinking that they need to be following the rules of society and the rules of the system, the old system that is crumbling now. So trust in the universe, trust in your cycles, love yourself, serve yourself first, fill your own cup, and know that you got this. And we got this.
We got this.
We got this. We are powerful humans, and each and every one of us has so much to give to this world.
At this time, I want to ask the angels to weigh in on the energy of this topic. We are supported. How I connect with the angels is by taking a deep breath, and I'd like to invite you to do that with me now. Just exhale the breath that you're on, and inhale deeply. and hold. Exhaling slowly. Angel of God, my guardian dear, to whom God's love commits me here, ever this day be at my side, to light, to guard, to rule, to guide. Angels, what do you have to say about minding my cycles? All right, we've got 2 cards here. The first card is Indigo and Crystal Children. You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. Archangel Metatron is coming through with his teal, purpley energy, talking about indigo and crystal children, just as I was saying that the star seeds on this planet are waking up, working harder than we ever have before. It's important that we also reach out to the next generation. Just as Bevin was speaking about, we are the example. We don't know who's watching us and who will feel inspired when we live our truth. The second card, leadership. Archangel Gabriel, it is time for you to assume leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. What? I don't know. How did you feel about that, Bevin?
I was like, ooh, shivers up and down. But yeah, especially with the leadership one, I feel like it's important to really walk your talk, to be of integrity, and to really rise. Our time is now to really rise and to own our power and own our gifts and know that we got this.
It brings to mind like what true leadership is. A true leader would pay attention to how they were feeling so that they wouldn't affect the people that are under them. A true leader asks the people that are under them, how can I help you? You know, what a true leader pays attention to their personal cycles. Because they're in that position, they have power, and with great power comes that responsibility.
Yeah, to take care of themselves, to be in tune with themselves and what they need, and how to best serve the people that they're serving by honoring what they need first.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost felt like with this indigo and crystal children, I was kind of thinking like our inner child too.
Mm-hmm.
And really honoring like what does our inner child need, and what does our inner being need? How can we love ourselves in a way where our inner child comes out to play more and feels safe in its innocence to come out more and play and to shine its light. And I really feel like honoring your cycles and honoring your being helps that inner child to feel safe, to feel nurtured enough to really come out and shine and play.
And I think that is a natural state of being human. You know, if we're talking about how minding our cycles awakens us to a more natural state of living, the idea that we had to stop being childlike because we had to go into this workforce is because of the society that it has been set up. So connecting with our inner child and being okay with play, being okay with singing, being okay with extra movement, like dancing and fidgeting. I think that those things are things that we've lost touch with. And like you said, it's a healing act to reconnect with the inner child.
Mm-hmm.
And Archangel Metatron is reminding us that it's important to educate adults about natural and chemical-free ways to feed and raise children, but also natural and chemical-free ways to nurture your inner child. For example, do you go outside and play at all? I know that today we went outside and we took a walk, and it definitely changed our mental space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like we don't have enough fun, and really, if you take away all the freaking belief systems about what we should be doing in society, like, we are here as children of the universe. First and foremost, you are a child of the universe. You belong to the universe, first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
And you're here to have fun. You are here to have fun and create and play in the garden of the universe. And that is a huge, huge way to shift your consciousness into higher states of consciousness and higher states of being, is to let go, allow yourself to have fun and play with creation as a child of creation.
Mm-hmm. Boom. Well, thank you so much, Archangel Metatron, Archangel Gabriel, for reminding us of what's important. And Archangel Gabriel is here to remind us that the divine is a source of strength.
Mm.
Regardless of our backgrounds, we have this strength pouring into us at all times. And that the angels can help you fearlessly tap into this power. Archangel Gabriel will reassure you that it is safe for you to be powerful, and she will protect you in all ways. Gabriel's aura is copper, and when you want to really invoke her energy, have the crystal stone citrine or some precious copper with you when you meditate. Really step into that leadership role. I cannot stress this enough. This card has come up before in the month of February, and all throughout the month of January, I was getting these messages from the angels as well. There seems to be a heavy call to action, one that I haven't felt something this strong since like 2012. So this heavy call to action isn't really an action, it's activation, which I think is a stronger word.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel this is almost in a desperation sense, that we really have to step into our power. We really need to be outspoken in how energies affect each other and how we're affecting the earth, and how we need to work together as humans to come to an understanding that what we're doing to the earth is unacceptable, and that we have the technology to heal it.
Mm-hmm. And that every action and every choice has an effect on everything else. And leadership is really also, it's so much about responsibility, taking personal responsibility and walking that talk, walking in integrity to your values, and to love yourself enough. I feel like it takes a lot of deep self-love to really come into leadership and to be a leader.
Mm-hmm. It does.
And we're doing this for, the future generations too. I think this card, I feel like that's also coming up because it's not about us. It's about our future.
It's about the children.
Mm-hmm, it's about the generations to come. What kind of legacy, what kind of world are we going to leave behind? What kind of world are we going to create for our children?
I know that I want to make the world a better place, one person at a time, one adventure at a time. And I'm not going to stop. Nobody can stop me. I'm a superhero. I'm going to form the Justice League of Starseeds.
Yes.
That's what's happening right now. So thank you for joining me on this adventure. I want to thank the angels for that wonderful message. Mm-hmm. And thank you, Bevin, for joining me today and for sharing your gifts with the High Vibe Humans. One last time, share with the High Vibe Humans what you do and where they can connect with you.
So I do a lot of things. But really, I've been feeling the call to step more into being a spiritual guide / advisor / coach, counselor type of thing. Not really putting any one label on it, but just helping people and giving people different tools to be happier, to be healthier, to rise into their light more so. So my YouTube channel is Bevin Heaven, And my Instagram is bevin.b.heaven.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And thank you to Bring Me to Life Network for creating spaces for high vibe humans to connect.
Yay!
Thank you, high vibe humans, for listening and for tuning in energetically and physically. And if you want to, please share this with someone you love or someone that you don't. And thank you for sharing this episode. I look forward to the next episode and hearing from all you high vibe humans in the future. Until next time, stay healthy, stay light, and don't give up the fight. Woo! Peace out.
Peace.